I am the global campaign operations manager at Pure. So I manage global campaign operations, the tech, the processes, and the team that really executes on global campaigns for the entire marketing team. PureStorage at a glance, we're a data storage company, right? We do hybrid storage, cloud storage, on-prem storage, but our goal is to provide the data storage that you need to accelerate your business, and to really simplify things and save your IT and engineers time. The company runs all types of campaigns with different types of setups, different types of tactics. And my job was to figure out what is the process for every single little campaign and tactic and being able to automate that. The amount of agencies and contractors that we had to hire to execute on campaigns kept growing. Our budgets kept growing. So really automation was the future, right? So my job was, all right, how can I figure out what is repetitive within this process? How do we map out the repetitive processes? And how do I use a workflow automation to automate that? I mean, the alternative is we just wouldn't be able to scale with the growing demand, right? I would have to hire more agencies. And the tricky part about this outside services model is they don't stay forever, right? You have agents switch in and out every 6 months, maybe a year. There are some agents that are great, some that aren't as great. And having to deal with the different types of skills as well as issues that go along with every agent is not very scalable. I was like, what integrates with Workato, right? Number one, because that's our marketing automation system that we want to perform most of the automation. And number two, I guess, what is an easy automation tool that someone like me, I don't have coding experience. What can I actually leverage to implement something like this? When I was initially looking at Workato as well as Trade.io, those are the top two picks. Trade.io seemed like you guys pretty much do very similar things, but Trade.io definitely seemed a lot more complicated and required a little more coding. Not to mention their flow builder, it didn't emulate what Workato was like. Ultimately, that was one of the deciding factors of, I think, existing integrations with Workato was greater than Trade.io at the time. I like the UI a lot better. It seemed a lot easier to use, but most importantly, your overall customer service and just the people that I worked with to try to help guide me through this process, they were just fantastic, right? I think you guys gave me a free trial of Workato for a little bit for me to try to play around with the recipe on its own. So ultimately, that's why I ended up choosing Workato. So at this point in time, it's been about a month and a half since we've launched. We have about 900 tickets in our system. So based on that current number, if you multiply it by 12, we're on track for more than 1,000 or 10,000 tickets in our ticketing system. And I would say 70% of those tickets are touching the automation, at least, if at least all, or at least 80%. And marketers know that, hey, rather than waiting 3 days, I just need to wait 10 seconds. I can just submit this through here and I'll get exactly what I want, but I will get more than what I typically would get. So now we're almost giving an incentive for marketers to go into the ticketing system and submit the campaigns that they should have gone there to do in the first place. Everybody that has submitted tickets, they're kind of blown away. Like they can't even fathom, like, I can't believe this is being done in 10 seconds. I used to have to wait 3 days. And agencies are not cheap. So the numbers I provided, those are like based on, hey, how many hours they use. And we're going to save at least $250,000 to $400,000 in just agency costs. But even if, and if anything, we can repurpose those hours for other things, right? That they might want to do better. So I think this could potentially also help retain agencies, right? Because people don't want to do this repetitive work. Like it's a hassle, and I don't want to QA their work. So if you can automate it, that's definitely the future. I actually just won our recent quarterly awards for integrated operations. And this is among a team of 400, 500 people in integrated operations. And the award I won was like the game changer award for the introduction of the Workato piece for campaign automation. So that was a pretty, good milestone